part of the Ask the Expert show, contact us at 954-336-3767. Position your company as an expert in your field. Call Ask the Experts radio show at 954-336-3767. Be sure to catch our show every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. or watch our show live at wwnnradio.com and click on the WWNN TV link.
Is your community association looking for prompt, effective, cost-efficient, and understandable legal advice and services? You'll find that and more with Kaye Bender Rembaum, a full-service commercial law firm concentrating on the representation of more than 800 community associations throughout Florida. With offices in Broward and Palm Beach counties, Kaye Bender Rembaum assists clients in all matters of association representation, including but not limited to collection of assessments, contract negotiation, covenant review and amendment, covenant enforcement, and construction defect claims. Under the direction of attorneys Robert Kaye, Michael Bender, and Jeffrey Rembaum, Kaye Bender Rembaum is dedicated to providing clients with an unparalleled level of personalized and professional service regardless of their size, and takes into account their individual needs and financial concerns. For more information, visit www.kbrlegal.com or call 954-928-0680.
And we're back. You know what? I love it when Ken is in the board op room.
Ken's in the house.
He's
on it.
And we've had so many board ops. He is without a doubt the best. We are back. Listen, I got to butter up our next guest.
You got to butter him up.
Yeah, because when Renee and I developed the show, Ask the Experts, one of the areas, we have a lot of different lawyers that come on, but one of the areas, especially down here in South Florida, is I wanted to make sure that we had a homeowners association firm, but not just a firm. We wanted to make sure that we had the best, because that's what you deserve. And we found what I feel is the top homeowners association, condo association, law firm, not just here in South Florida, but throughout Florida. So I want to welcome to the show, I would call you the senior partner. You can say anything, but we have Robert Kaye of Kaye Bender Rembaum with us today.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We're going to talk about homeowners association. And I've done a lot of reading about homeowners association condo. Wow, there's a lot that this involves.
It's very complex, yes.
So tell us about your firm.
Well, the law firm's been in existence since late 1991, continuously providing these types of legal services throughout South Florida initially. We've expanded into the Palm Beach Gardens area, and we have clientele probably through half of Florida anyway.
You have a lot of
This is a type of situation where it's virtually everywhere. It's hard to find a place in Florida that doesn't have a mandatory association to live in. So
yes,
hard to
even
avoid.
let me tell you, even when I owned a house,
Yes.
there was a homeowners association. Although we took care of our own, we maintained our own, the grass and everything else around the house, you had to live up to the HOA.
Sure.
And if you didn't, they
You
could
get a letter
assess
from me.
you. Yeah, you get a letter. Believe me, I have.
I hope not.
I had weeds. No, I did. I had
But
weeds.
a homeowners associations is almost like a
mini
small,
government. Yeah,
like a small to mid-sized business.
Exactly right. Up north, cities do a lot more. Down here, associations do a lot of the things that municipalities do.
They have elected officials.
Absolutely. They tax.
Do they really?
Well, your assessments are what
Oh, right,
operates.
so that's considered a tax, right.
That's like a tax. And,
Yes,
and in
absolutely.
fact, it's as important as your mortgage, because you can lose your property if you don't pay these assessments.
Yeah, and then you have to get into disputes, which is what you get into also.
Absolutely. Whenever you put groups of people together, you find that there's going to invariably be disputes. Sometimes people can't follow the rules, that the disputes are with the association. Sometimes it's with each other. Sometimes it's both.
And sometimes it's with the contractors. Sometimes it's with the management companies also. It's not just the...
And local governments.
All of these things come into play. On top of all of that, Florida statutes through the years have been evolving, started in more than the condominiums, the homeowners association and cooperatives are catching up on their legislation and how they affect the regulations and the operations, then it's gotten very complex and very technical. So most of the people running them are volunteers, they're homeowners, they're unit owners, and they don't have the expertise necessarily that required.
That's why they need your law firm.
That's why they need our law firm, yes.
And this is why the seminars you do too, which we're going to get into, because it's like you said, some of these people know nothing about being a president or a vice president of a homeowners.
And listen, it's a very scary thought, because if you could lose your house. And he just said that, but that's very true, because I know of situations that people had to go up against the homeowners association because of that.
Well, that does happen.
Yes, quite often.
Quite often. In recent years, it was a lot worse, where our economy is getting a little bit better, so
Right.
there's a lot less of that going on today, but it is an issue that always has to be in the minds of the boards of these associations. The money they get on these assessments, that's how they operate. That's how they
Right.
take care of the place, and if they don't have everybody pay, then the place will fall apart.
So your firm offers so many different services. Let's share the different services, because I know we've got listeners out there right now that are like tuned to the show now. It's like, maybe we should change our way of doing business. So let's share all the different services.
Well, sure. First and foremost, we are the general counsel to the association, where we provide legal advice and opinions relative to the day-to-day operation of the association. We review their governing documents, which are basically their constitutions that say what the restrictions are, how the associations operate, and we provide information to the boards as to that. We also assist them in contract negotiations, and there are construction lien laws that are in effect that protect contractors over homeowners, so associations need to be sure that they comply particularly with those laws, and they are very technical. So we do those services as well. Obviously, covenant enforcement. When people don't follow the rules, we provide a litigation aspect to the associations when they get in disputes with contractors. They hire contractors. Contractors don't do their jobs. The association needs to be involved in, the association attorney needs to be involved in enforcing their contractual rights.
Right, because like you said, most of the people on the board are homeowners themselves.
Absolutely. Construction defect has become another complex area. There are statutes in place with procedures that have to be followed that have recently come into effect in Florida, so those are very technical. You have to be sure to follow that, or else you'll lose your access to taking them to court.
You know, it's really, since we deal with so many different types of law firms, folks, let me tell you something. If you're using a firm and they do bankruptcy, foreclosure, criminal,
You want one firm that specializes in the
This is
HOA.
all that you do.
This is probably 90+% of what our firm does is represent community associations.
And I would think that's big business here in South Florida.
There are community associations everywhere you look, so
No, especially here.
there's a lot of clients, yes.
Well, speaking of client, what kind of clients does your firm serve?
Well, we serve all of the various community associations. We represent condominium associations, homeowner associations, cooperatives, across the board on all their issues. There are times when we'll represent unit owners as well, and some vendors that are involved in association matters, sometimes general commercial matters.
So you cover all the counties?
We cover all the counties, yes.
Yes, because with our show, we go all over Broward, Palm Beach,
Yes.
Martin. So you also do Martin County also?
Yes,
Oh,
we're
that's
down in
wonderful.
Monroe as well.
Give everyone your website.
Website is www.kbrlegal.com. The initials kbrlegal.com.
You also offer seminars.
We do. We
So
have
tell everybody about those.
many seminars, actually. First off, Florida statutes have required condominium board members to be certified by virtue of either signing a form that says they've read the documents and will follow them to the best of their ability, or take an education course that's been approved by the Division of Condominium. So we provide these division-approved courses. It's a good idea for board members to take the course because of the education they receive, as opposed to just signing a paper and indicating that they're in compliance. That has been extended to homeowners associations as well. So we offer board certification courses for both homeowner association, condominium association, as well as cooperatives. We do that on a monthly basis.
And where do you hold the seminars?
We hold them in our offices, both in Pompano Beach and in Palm Beach Gardens. The dates are listed on our website. We have one coming up next Tuesday in Pompano Beach. I believe that's for condominium certification. I don't know all the dates off the top of my
How
head.
could you not get certified, though?
I know. And is there a fee for that?
There's no fee for that, no. It just advance RSVP and registration with us, so our space is limited. We need to make sure that we can accommodate.
No, that's a great thing. So they could get certified and not even have to pay to be certified. So why wouldn't you want to do that?
Why would you not want? Even
Exactly.
if there was a charge for it.
Well, since we've been doing that, we've had a very good attendance. The summertime's a little slower because a lot of people are
Snowbirds,
away.
yeah.
Sure, snowbirds. But we've also added some courses that include some credits for property managers that involve navigating fair housing issues, which has become a very hot topic of late with the emotional support animal issue that has been exploding. People in many communities have pet restrictions, and the way that they're getting around pet restrictions is with emotional support animals. It's been epidemic how many people seem to have emotional needs. And
All of a sudden, right?
Yes.
Well, listen, let's go to break, and when we return, I want to really get in more about the seminars, too, because I think you're crazy not to go to these
It's
seminars.
free.
But, you know,
I mean, even if you had to pay for it, something you want to be knowledgeable.
Plus-
I'm just saying the fact that they're offering that's wonderful.
and I'm sure the laws are constantly changing, too.
Every year.
So you've really got to be able to keep up with. So let's go to break, and when we return, more homeowner association law. We'll be right back.
Is your community association looking for prompt, effective, cost-efficient, and understandable legal advice and services? You'll find that and more with Kaye Bender Rembaum, a full-service commercial law firm concentrating on the representation of more than 800 community associations throughout Florida. With offices in Broward and Palm Beach counties, Kaye Bender Rembaum assists clients in all matters of association representation, including but not limited to collection of assessments, contract negotiation, covenant review and amendment, covenant enforcement, and construction defect claims. Under the direction of attorneys Robert Kaye, Michael Bender, and Jeffrey Rembaum, Kaye Bender Rembaum is dedicated to providing clients with an unparalleled level of personalized and professional service regardless of their size, and takes into account their individual needs and financial concerns. For more information, visit www.kbrlegal.com or call 954-928-0680.
Hi, I'm Steve-O with the Ask the Experts radio show. Join my co-host Renee and I every Friday as we interview some of the most prominent professionals in Palm Beach and Broward County. Each week we combine educational information on a variety of topics with a touch of humor and entertainment in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement so you can be more informed. We offer interviews on such topics as family law, foreclosure defense, estate planning, sleep apnea, roof repair, funeral pre-needs, mold and mildew, alcoholism addiction, and even a show that teaches you how to buy a new and used car from one of the top dealerships in South Florida. If you have a business and would like to be part of the Ask the Expert show, contact us at 954-336-3767. Position your company as an expert in your field. Call Ask the Experts radio show at 954-336-3767. Be sure to catch our show every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. or watch our show live at wwnnradio.com and click on the WWNN TV link. And we're back. I'm so glad.
I just got some information here.
You did?
Yes, I did. He happened to have been the attorney for the association where my house, before I sold my house.
Right.
He was one of the attorneys there. And I wasn't joking around before. I had pavers in my driveway, and if a drop of weeds would come through, I would get served paperwork and paperwork and paperwork. I mean, I was out there literally spraying weeds all the time.
Weeds?
Once a week, I was outside spraying to kill. Well, you have to kill the weeds. In your
You
pavers
probably
in your
needed a
driveway.
stronger weed killer.
Listen, believe me, I went to Home Depot. I got the best.
Well, listen, our show is about education, and we have the best. I think it's the biggest law firm in Florida, when it comes to homeowners association, condo association, you are going to learn so much, because we're going to do this every month with Robert. And I want to, we were just talking about this seminar that you do.
So what topics do you discuss in the seminar?
Well, depending on the seminar, we do different types. If we're doing the board certification course, it goes through what the statutes require, what the documents require. It's a general overview, and the division has specific hot points that we have to cover. It's 2 hours, and it's very intense, and it goes through a lot of information. We've had many people attend more than one time because of the amount of information they get. They can't retain it all, so they need to come back for a second go-round. On the fair housing issues, fair housing is important. It's been expanded through the years to provide for protections to a number of different people, not just the old standards of race, religion, but also physically handicapped, mentally handicapped, families with children, things of that nature have accommodation requirements under fair housing laws. One of our seminars gets into detail on how boards can negotiate these complex issues. Through the winter months, we do a road show of sorts where
you were just mentioning that before.
Where we do a number of stops. We go through what's new legislation that is done in the current year, and we also have it more of a town hall format where we open it up to the participants who come to provide their questions, and we answer whatever.
So they go to town hall. So it's like open forum.
Open forum, any topic they want to ask. We ask that if you're talking about one of our clients, you let us know so that we're not
so
giving
like
answers against them.
I complained about somebody.
I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell everybody out there why they should hire your firm when it comes to homeowners association.
I'm humble in many ways.
That's okay.
But
this is important.
Because he's one of the partners.
Our firm has devoted the attention for 25 years to this area of the law, and it is one that we're passionate about. It's one that we're well versed upon, and we make certain that our clients are in compliance at all times, and we keep them out of trouble. That's number one. Many of our clients that come to us new are already in trouble, so we help to get them out of the trouble. The fact that we provide many free services through our website, we provide educational information.
I saw that on there.
When there's new changes in the law, we notify our clients. There's no charge for that.
And that happens on a regular basis.
Yes. We also pride ourselves on our policy that when we provide information to our clients, we do so in a way that's understandable to the layperson. When you ask for a legal opinion, you don't get something that's 20 pages long that you need somebody to translate for you. You get something
most
that's
of the time.
concise,
Yes.
to the point, and understandable, and written in a way that is generally understood. That's important when you're considering hiring an attorney.
Are there any new laws out there that you believe are going to become a negative impact?
Well, there's always changes that have negative aspects to different groups. One of the changes this year that stands out is in the condominium laws. There's been exceptions made to many of the laws as they apply to non-residential commercial type condominiums. For those, some of the restrictions and protections that exist for residential condominiums have been specifically removed, such as certain qualifications to serve on the board. Under condominium laws, if a board member is a convicted felon who's...
That would be an issue, you think?
who hasn't had their civil rights restored in the 5 years previous is not qualified to serve on the board.
Right.
That's been removed. So someone with a
it has been.
for non-residential condominiums.
Okay.
And for residential, that remains the same. Things of that nature. Other protections within that portion were removed, and it was done new. Not sure why. There wasn't a lot of talk about it. It just kind of slipped through. So that could have some negative impact to non-residential condominium unit owners.
Do you ever try to work with the legislator at all?
We do. We actually work with the legislation process regularly. Michael Bender sits on a number of legislative action committees. He participates in drafting and lobbying on a lot of the legislation through those.
Any issues you feel like they've
Institute.
overlooked this year?
There's always issues that get overlooked.
Such as?
Well, one that stands out to us, there's been an issue where associations, particularly with the way the economic climate has been in recent years, many associations have been required to foreclose on units within their community because lenders have not. There's been long-standing lender foreclosures that have been taking years and years to complete, if ever.
So you could do that?
Associations, and traditionally, when a lender's foreclosing, the association does not, because the lender's superior. They wipe out the association except for a statutory safe harbor amount, and that's all they're going to get. But because the lenders were not moving their foreclosures, nobody was paying, the associations decided they had no choice. They have no way to collect from the people, so the only remedy available to them under the law and their documents is to lien and foreclose. Once they took title,
So you actually get title of
they
the
get
house.
title,
Wow.
but subject to the first mortgage. Once they took title, they could rent the property for a while. Selling it was problematic because there's big mortgages on it. They can't.
Right.
Lenders won't talk to them if there's a short sale because they're not the one that has the mortgage. So that became a problem. But ultimately, a lender will foreclose, and in the event a third party purchased at the lender's sale, not the lender, but a third party, an independent investor who's out there just to make money, it developed that when the association was in the chain of title, they became what was called a prior owner, and subject to the fact that any assessments that came due from them were wiped out as well. So they
Wow.
exercise their only option to foreclose, and then they get punished for it. Now, the legislature has adopted part of the protection on that by identifying the association as no longer a prior owner under the statute. They did it in HOAs last year. This year they did it for condominiums, but they didn't go far enough to provide for the protection to make sure that the third-party purchasers at the sale are paying everything that the association has invested. The association had to pay legal fees. They have unpaid assessments,
That was
late
one of
fees,
my-
interest.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. So what happens if a property does foreclose and there are homeowners association fees that have not been paid? So when the bank takes over, what happens to those
Well,
association
if
fees?
a bank takes over, the bank is generally required to pay the lesser of 12 months of unpaid assessments or 1% of the original mortgage, whichever's less. Generally, it's 1%. Lenders have had a very strong lobby in Tallahassee through the years, and that's been an issue that has been difficult to change. Whether it'll change in the future remains to be seen.
So the homeowners association actually loses out on a lot of money.
They
basically.
can under
Yeah.
those circumstances. When they can hold the property for a certain period of time and it's habitable without a big investment on their part, they can rent it. They can recoup some of their money through the rentals, but that a lot of depends on, in that type of situation.
Because I know foreclosures are so prevalent in the state of Florida.
They're less so now,
Right, it's
because
getting
things
better.
have been clearing out. A lot of the old lender foreclosures are clearing out. Certainly the associations are having people that are paying better. So the housing values are going up, which is always helpful in that
Yes.
regard.
Does it seem the legislator treats the HOA, the homeowners association, different? I read an article about
Different
this.
than
The statutes. It said that I read an article. It said that they just don't treat them as fair as everything else they do. That it seems that they should be regulated by the same statutes as they use for everything else.
Well, it's a political process, and political processes are always very difficult and complex because there's so many different interests that are competing at the same time, and so we don't always get the results that are best for everybody. Associations are highly regulated. Condominiums for longer have been more regulated. HOA statute came into effect in 1995 and has been tweaked on an almost annual basis to get closer to what the Condominium Act is, but still there is quite a large difference between them. But the interests in HOAs and condominium are also different. In a condominium, you've got the common elements, the building maintenance, and all of that, and owners are more involved in the units. In the HOAs, the owners own their property, they own
It's
their
the
houses.
outside, what's going on, do
Right.
you have weeds in your
Right.
pavers?
And quite often, depending on if it's a limited access community, security, and those types of things, the interests are different, so the statutes have evolved differently. But that makes it confusing for everybody who's involved with it.
I even saw where it said about emails were not considered part of the official record.
Which is unusual, because usually
emails-
emails are official documents.
Well, emails can be part, but they might not be. If an email comes from a board member's personal email account as opposed to one that's designated as an official account of the association, then it's been considered outside the scope of what's the
Wow.
official records, even though it may involve something that's association related.
Give everybody your phone number again. Now, you have two offices, so
We have
so
two
you have to give
offices.
let's give one for both offices.
well, you-
Well,
need addresses as well.
if you call the main number, you can reach either office.
Okay.
The main number is 954-928-0680, and you can access either the Palm Beach Gardens office or the Pompano Beach office.
Why don't you give your addresses as well?
My address is 1200 Park Central Boulevard South in Pompano Beach.
That's actually the one I went to. Oh, those are beautiful offices.
thank you.
Those are real. I thought it was a like several different offices there. It's all his office. There must have been 30 cars
Well,
out there.
that's why he's on the show, because he's the expert.
Exactly.
So if you need an HOA attorney, this is the law firm to go to.
Well,
And
I'm just
if I
glad you
can,
guys
the
are-
Palm Beach Gardens office is 9121 North Military Trail in Suite 200 in Palm Beach Gardens.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming on today. I
Thanks
can't
so
wait
much for
till he
coming on.
comes back on again next month.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
This is really wonderful.
Hope to hear from some of you outside.
Absolutely. Listen, without you, there is no us. Peace and love, everybody.
We're out.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show with Steve-O and Renee. Tune in every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. while some of the top local experts in their field from Broward and Palm Beach counties educate you in the areas of law, health, financial, and home improvement. You can also call our offices at 888-574-6999 to become an expert on our show. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of